Good evening, everyone. I'm Spot On Weather meteorologist Matthew Euler. Welcome to my daily forecast video for today, the 2nd of December, 2025. Hope everyone's having a great evening to this point. Let's look at the main weather headlines for this evening's video. Let's go ahead and cover some of these. And this is really applicable to the Hampton Roads, Virginia cities when I do the main weather headlines here. So this is setting up for the Hampton Road cities. We'll see high pressure moving in tomorrow, the 3rd of December, with lots of sunshine in place. But we will see colder temperatures. We're expecting highs only in the middle to upper 40s tomorrow across the area. Increasing clouds for Thursday, the 4th of December. That will be ahead of an area of lower pressure. We'll see high temperatures on Thursday, slightly milder than Wednesday. We'll see highs up into the lower 50s. And then the next area of low pressure will move in and impact Hampton Roads with precipitation on Friday, this Friday, the 5th of December. Model differences exist still in the arrival of this precipitation. What's the arrival time of it and what are the specific temperature profiles? That's going to make a big difference across southeastern Virginia as a whole, whether you get a cold rain versus some sort of frozen precipitation. So we'll keep an eye on that. Climatology, this is where I get skeptical. I've been in this area for a while doing forecasting, and early December, climatology wise, is not the most ideal time for snow or any kind of frozen precip across Hampton Roads, Virginia cities. Really, the issue is the water temperatures offshore. They really don't dip down low enough for snow considerations until early January and February, those months specifically. So I tend to be a little skeptical when models show me any kind of snow across Hampton Road cities in early December. But it's not to say that it cannot happen. It very well could happen. Heck, we just got our first snowflakes already back in November, which was a shocker. That doesn't happen all that often at all here across Hampton Road. So right now, I'm kind of leaning towards the climatology, the water temperatures here along the immediate coastline of southeastern Virginia. Climatology generally favors a colder rain situation across Hampton Roads in early December. But again, it can happen. Snow, it has happened in December. So we'll just continue to watch that. We will see below normal temperatures with a mean upper level trough in place. That's going to continue right into next week. We will see daily highs generally in the middle 40s to perhaps lower 50s. But right now, the way the models are looking these last 2 days, it really looks like we're going to be in the middle to upper 40s for high temperatures across Hampton Road cities right on into the early portion of next week. We will see a continuation of a weak stratospheric polar vortex, which will have two distinct stretching episodes coming up here. It's going to allow very cold air to basically come south from the Arctic area. So we're looking at those stretching events. We're also seeing the reflection of the weaker stratospheric polar vortex in the negative Arctic oscillation, the negative AO that is showing up on the modeling. And then we also have a negative NAO in the forecast as well. So you combine all three together, not to mention the Madden Julian oscillation going into phase 8. You combine all this together and you have a recipe for a mean trough, upper air trough in the eastern U.S., colder than normal temperatures. And we're going to have these short waves kind of zipping through the pattern, the long wave pattern, and that could set off some periods of precipitation. All right, so let's examine the latest enhanced infrared imagery here on the left side. And we clearly see the oranges and the reds, the really colder cloud temperatures well offshore the East Coast this evening. And these are associated with precipitation, which is, again, well off to the east of the mid-Atlantic this evening. We do have so much drier air coming in now with northwesterly winds into the area. You see the dull, like lighter gray appearance, this almost like a lighter dull white appearance across West Virginia, into Ohio, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Illinois, down to Kentucky and Tennessee. This is associated with very, very cold air. This is a very cold air signature here. IR imagery, of course, is measuring temperature. So when you see this kind of milky appearance on an infrared image, that indicates very cold air back over the Ohio Valley, down through Kentucky, Tennessee this evening. Over on the right-hand side, we see the observations from this evening. We generally have some lighter northwest winds across southeastern Virginia. The temperatures have really dropped today. We had a high temperature of 58 degrees in Virginia Beach, and that occurred at about 2 p.m., and then temperatures really dropped off. It was 44 degrees by 4 p.m. So 14-degree temperature drop as the storm system offshore continues to move offshore. We got those wraparound winds from the northwest on the backside of that low pressure. A lot of heavier rain earlier in the day. Got a lot of reports of over an inch of rain across the southeastern Virginia area. We have a lot of colder air just in place across western portions of Virginia, West Virginia. West Virginia, some of these locations are in the upper 20s this evening for air temperatures. We also have upper 20s and near 30 degrees into eastern Kentucky, and looking quite cold across portions of North Carolina as well. So the colder, drier air is moving in. High pressure will move into the area for tomorrow, but it will be quite a cold day. We look at the national air temperatures, and this is as of 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We do see the coldest temperatures in the lighter blue colors across North Dakota, Minnesota, into Wisconsin, the UP of Michigan, as well as Illinois and Indiana. Temperatures are generally in the teens and the lower 20s across these portions of the country. We also see some very cold temperatures across New England, generally into the lower 30s into Pennsylvania, as well as lower 30s, upper 20s, even into portions of West Virginia, as I just showed you. And we have generally low 40s across Hampton Road cities this evening, and even some lower 40s down into North Carolina this evening. Mildest air this evening is across Florida, central and southern Florida. Temperatures are ranging anywhere from 69 to 79 degrees. Look at that, Miami sitting at 79 degrees at 7 p.m. local time this evening. But look at the extent of the cold air getting all the way down into southeastern Texas, all the way down into Louisiana, all the way down to the Gulf Coast in the South Mississippi, as well as South Alabama and the Pensacola area there in the Florida Panhandle. Temperatures are in the low 40s all the way down to the Gulf Coast this evening. So that just goes to show you how far south this colder air is making its way. We do see milder temperatures across southern Arizona into parts of southeastern California, as well as some milder temperatures in the 50s and 60s across western Texas. Let's look at the forecast charts now for today's video, starting with the 500 millibar height anomaly forecast on the left-hand side for tomorrow, Wednesday, the 3rd of December, 2025. Whenever you see the orange colors, those deep orange, darker oranges, that indicates upper level ridging, which is associated with dry weather and generally milder temperatures. Where you see the blues, the purples, the greens, the whites, that's associated with upper level troughs. Those troughs are typically associated with unsettled weather conditions as well as colder temperatures. All right, so let's examine the chart here on the left-hand side. For tomorrow afternoon, we see a closed upper level low over the eastern Aleutian Islands, a very strong upper level high with ridging extending to its north across the eastern portions of the North Pacific. And we do see also some of that ridging just right off the coast of Washington State and Oregon for tomorrow afternoon. Meanwhile, we see a upper level trough there kicking off some snow showers across parts of Utah and Colorado tomorrow. We see that trough axis extending back to northern Arizona towards the Flagstaff area. We also see the reflection of the polar vortex situated over northeastern Hudson Bay, Canada, with the trough really extending southward into south central Canada. Over on the North Atlantic side, we see an upper level closed low with the trough axis extending from it across the open waters of the North Atlantic. We also see this peach color across Greenland indicating building heights or rising upper level heights, and that is associated with ridging. And really, we have some very strong ridging across the Arctic areas on the North Pacific side, generally to the northwest of Alaska. Looking at the precipitation forecast for tomorrow, Wednesday, 3 December 2025, very dry across Oregon down to California, as well as Nevada and Idaho. We do see some of those snow showers kicking off across northern Arizona, northwestern portions of New Mexico, as well as Colorado. And that's in association with that upper level trough, that weak upper level trough. A 1036 millibar surface high pressure area is going to be located on the Montana western North Dakota border, and the clockwise flow of air around that high pressure system is going to bring some really cold air, some of the coldest air of the season, in fact, down into Minnesota, Iowa, and this cold air will continue to advance towards the Midwest, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, northern Missouri. I'll show you those temp anomalies here in a moment. We do see some snow showers across southeastern Canada for tomorrow afternoon. Looking dry from Maine right on through portions of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, down to Virginia, the Carolinas, Georgia, all the way down to Florida. Looking at the forecast 500 millibar height anomalies on the left now for this Thursday, 4 December 2025, we have a lot of blocking going on off the U.S. West Coast up into the Gulf of Alaska. A very strong upper high, upper level ridging in place. This reminds me a lot of when I was actually living out in San Diego from 2013 to 2015. We could not get a raindrop in the wintertime out there for that time period because of something known as the ridiculously resilient ridge. Now, I'm not saying that's the same case here with this ridge here, but the upper air pattern is very similar to those winters, 13, 14, 14, 15 winter seasons. But we see a lot of blocking. This is specific blocking here, this maroon orangish color here over the basically off the west coast of the U.S. up in the Gulf of Alaska, and it's just remaining in place. So basically, storms cannot go through this block to the west coast. The storm systems have to go up and over the blocking feature there and then back down. You see these short waves that kind of come through this pattern here across northwest territories of Canada through south central Canada into the U.S. We do see a total representation of the polar vortex situated across northeastern Hudson Bay, and this trough, this elongation of that polar vortex, this stretching event where we see very cold air moving in towards southeastern Canada. This is that first stretching event I mentioned. And it's going to be bringing some bitterly cold air down into the United States. We do see a closed upper level low across the open waters of the North Atlantic, as well as the orange colors across Greenland, indicating upper level ridging. Now, again, look at the upper left-hand portion of this left-hand graphic, the 500 millibar height anomalies. We have brown coloring. You look at the scale over here, we're talking just drastic upper end type anomalously high heights there across the northern Bering Sea, northwest of Alaska. And yeah, that is really, really an impressive signature there. Overall, on the right-hand side, we're showing the precipitation forecast for this Thursday, the 4th of December, 2025. We see rain moving into portions of western Washington state and into Oregon, higher elevation snows into eastern Oregon, as well as into northern Idaho and western Montana for Thursday. We see a nice strong high pressure area situated over the Great Basin area. Also, we see a 1034 millibar, pretty strong surface high pressure area across northeastern Missouri. And we see colder northerly winds really starting to kick in from southeastern Canada, New England, right on down to the mid-Atlantic. So we do have a dry frontal passage that's going to be passing through Hampton Roads for late Thursday, and that's going to reinforce the colder air for Friday. Now, notice down here along the Gulf Coast states into southeastern and eastern Texas, northern Gulf, as well as southeast Louisiana, southern Mississippi, and southern Alabama, the Florida Panhandle. There's a lot of rain on Thursday afternoon. Now, this is potentially the moisture that's going to move in over the top of this colder air. And this could result in a period of snow across Virginia, as well as northern portions of North Carolina for Friday. And I'll show you that in a moment. All right, so let's look at the forecast temp anomalies for tomorrow, Wednesday, the 3rd of December, 2025. We have above normal temperatures. For the temp anomalies, we have above normal temperatures into British Columbia and western portions of Alberta, province of Canada. We also see above normal temperatures for tomorrow, for Yeah, tomorrow afternoon. Gosh, I'm losing track of my days. Yeah, for tomorrow afternoon, the 3rd of December, we see above normal temperatures in the western portions of Texas. We see below normal temperatures really coming down now from south central Canada into the upper plain states, the Dakotas, Minnesota, Iowa. You're going to be running anywhere from 14 to 20 degrees below normal tomorrow afternoon. And this air mass is just going to continue to plunge into the Midwestern U.S. for Thursday. Look at the below normal temperatures tomorrow across Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, and Western PA. We're talking temperatures 15 to 16 degrees below normal there tomorrow afternoon. And then we have a 10 to 11 degree below normal patch of temperatures there, temp anomalies from eastern North Carolina to southeastern Virginia, including Hampton Roads, and some below normal temperatures continue across New England. Over on the right-hand side, forecast temp anomalies for this Thursday, 4 December 2025, showing above normal temperatures into all of the British Columbia province and then south and central portions um, of Alberta province there of Canada, as well as the southern portions of the Saskatchewan province of Canada. We do see much colder air. Look at this deep purple coloring here. Eastern Iowa, right through northern Missouri into northern and central Illinois. We're talking temperature for highs will be running 30 to 33 degrees below normal Fahrenheit for Thursday afternoon. Just phenomenal cold for early December across the Midwest. Chicago, Peoria, Rockford, Davenport, Moline, right into Des Moines, Iowa. Just frigid air for Thursday. So dress warmly if you're out and about in those locations. And then we see below normal temperatures in the western New York State, Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky, right on down to southern Missouri. Look at the extent of the cold going all the way down into Texas, north and central Texas, running anywhere from 12 to 16 degrees below normal for Thursday afternoon. Slightly below normal here across the Hampton Road cities, not by much for Thursday. So it's a little bit milder into the lower 50s on Thursday here in the Hampton Road cities. Then we look at the forecast here on the left, the 500 millibar height anomalies for this Friday, the 5th of December, 2025. We see the continued upper level high off the coast of California, well above normal heights to its north off the coast of Washington State and Oregon. We see well above normal, this upper high, well above normal heights continuing in the same location there in the Bering Sea, generally to the northwest of Alaska, well above normal heights. We do see below normal heights with upper level low there across portions of Hudson Bay. And then we see a deep closed upper level low there over just off the southeast Canadian Maritimes location. One thing I want you to notice up here in the top right-hand portion of the graphic on the left, the orange colors are getting deeper, which indicates we're having even greater height rises at 500 millibars across central Greenland for this Friday, and that's going to be in association with the developing negative NAO. So really interesting. We'll keep an eye on these patterns here over the Arctic areas here as I go through these slides. Watch that pattern. But we have just troughing into the central U.S., much of the U.S. east of the Rockies has below normal heights for Friday. The subtropical ridge there is going to be centered from the Cancun area through Cuba right on into the south western portions of the North Atlantic. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, we look at the precipitation forecast for this Friday, 5 December. We see rain moving into parts of Washington State, still pretty wet there into western Washington State and western Oregon, snow into the western portions of Canada. We also see some scattered snow showers across parts of western Colorado as well as eastern Utah for Friday afternoon. Well, look at what we got here now. We have an area of low pressure. The model was trying to stamp a 1013 millibar low just off the coast of Charleston, South Carolina by Friday afternoon. And look at the blue coloring here in Virginia. All right, we got some snow breaking out across northern Virginia into parts of southern Virginia, as well as up towards the DC area for Friday. So we'll keep an eye on this little system Friday. Additionally, we see dry conditions for Friday afternoon across New England, also dry across the Midwest as well. Some scattered snow showers across southeastern Canada. Looking at the forecast 5 and millbar height anomalies now for this Saturday, the 6th of December 2025, we see the continuation of well above normal heights into the Bering Sea, and now some of those above normal heights are shifting a little bit further to the east and northeast across the Beaufort Sea, north of Alaska. So just this whole process just continues. We also see above normal heights straddling the basically off the U.S. West Coast, eastern and North Pacific, as well as into the North Central Pacific. A closed low will be in place across the southern portions of Alaska, with the trough axis extending slightly into the Gulf of Alaska. We also see another closed upper level low over southern Hudson Bay, with the trough axis extending down towards Lake Superior in the UP of Michigan for Saturday afternoon. But look at the blue colors on the left-hand side here on this graphic. 5 millbar height anomalies running below normal for the Midwest to the East Coast up to New England, as well as well down in the deep South, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama as well. We do see some upper level ridging continuing to build there across the highest height anomalies will be across northern Greenland. And look at the top of this diagram here on the left-hand side. We have the upper high there on the North Pacific side, north of Alaska. We got this upper high there over portions of northeastern Greenland. And let's see if these two will merge. I like to call that the ridge bridge over the top there across the Arctic areas. We'll see here in a moment if they merge. Now you see a deep closed upper level low over the northwestern open waters of the northwestern Atlantic. This is going to kick up a lot of winds and seas down at the surface over the northwestern Atlantic waters, northwestern portion of the North Atlantic. We look at the preset forecast on the right for this Saturday, the 6th of December 2025. We see rain continuing across western portions of Washington State, Oregon, northern California, as well as northern Nevada. We do also see some scattered snow showers in Idaho, parts of western and central Montana, right on into western Wyoming and western Colorado. We also see some scattered snow showers from eastern Montana through North Dakota and down into portions of South Dakota into southwestern Minnesota. Notice we still have the stalled frontal boundary just hanging out over the deep south for Saturday afternoon. So we have rain generally from Louisiana through Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia to South Carolina, right along the Gulf Coast as well, into South Mississippi, South Alabama, and into portions of northern Florida. We just have this frontal boundary again that just stalled out down there across the southeastern U.S. We do see dry conditions across Virginia for Saturday, as well as into Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, as well as Michigan, Indiana, and Illinois. Notice the snow showers there across southeastern Canada into the Quebec province. Looking at the forecast temp anomalies on the left for this Friday, the 5th of December 2025, we see above normal temperatures across the British Columbia province and far western Canada, above normal readings. Also, western Washington State, Oregon, down into northern California, as well as Nevada, and parts of Idaho will have above normal temperatures for Friday, the 5th of December. Slightly above normal also across eastern Montana through the Dakotas and into parts of Minnesota and central Nebraska. Well below normal temperature readings on Friday. I mean, we're talking 22 to 24 degrees Fahrenheit below normal temperatures into Virginia and northern portions of North Carolina. And you know, you look at that temp anomaly map and you say to yourself, well, it's early December, and you know, we got some precipitation coming up and overrunning that colder air in place across Virginia and North Carolina. It's definitely possible we could see some sort of frozen precip and snow for sure with those kind of temp anomalies. Also below normal temperatures in Illinois, Indiana, lower Michigan, Ohio, up towards Pennsylvania, as well as western New York State and the rest of New England for Friday afternoon. On the right-hand side, temperature anomalies there for the forecast temp anomalies for this Saturday, the 6th of December 2025, showing above normal temperatures there across western Montana, Idaho, Washington State, Oregon, into California and Nevada, as well as parts of western Wyoming and the British Columbia province of Canada, running above normal temperatures. Look at this. Our next surge of cold Arctic air is starting to take shape in the purple colors here across the Saskatchewan province of Canada. And we see some of those temperatures below normal, 17 up to 17 degrees below normal temperatures on Saturday across North Dakota into parts of northern Minnesota and Lake Superior. We see below normal temperatures also across southeastern Virginia through the Carolinas. Looking at the forecast, 5-mil height anomalies now for Sunday, the 7th of December, 2025. We see a closed upper level low in the Gulf of Alaska, and we also see a closed upper level high there across just to the northwest of Alaska, with ridging extending in the Beaufort Sea. Additionally, we see a closed upper level low in the southeastern Hudson Bay with a trough axis extending generally to the southeast across southeastern Canada, kind of pointed there towards New England. Blue colors continues for the central as well as eastern U.S. with below normal heights, leading to below normal temperatures again for Sunday. We do see the upper level high position off the California coastline with above normal heights continuing from San Francisco right down to San Diego. And we do see some sort of ridging there also occurring up through portions of Idaho into Montana. On the right-hand side, forecast precipitation anomaly, or not anomalies, forecasted precipitation for this Sunday, the 7th of December, 2025, showing more unsettled conditions across western Washington State and western Oregon. Some snow across western Canada. High pressure is generally going to be positioned at 1032 millibar high, pretty strong across the northwestern portions of Colorado. Dry for California as well as Arizona and New Mexico for Sunday afternoon, the 7th of December. We do see some scattered snow showers across eastern Iowa and west central Illinois. Another area of scattered snow showers across North Dakota. Looking good on Sunday for Dallas up to Oklahoma City, as well as Arkansas down to Louisiana. Colder temperatures with these blue dash thickness lines, looking colder across New England down to the mid-Atlantic, including Hampton Roads on Sunday. Look at the upper level heights here on that graphic on the left. One thing I forgot to mention, we have very strong upper level heights, well above normal heights across Greenland. That's an association with a negative NAO. And then we have well above normal heights again continuing north and northwest of Alaska. That's an association with the negative AO. And look, they kind of look like they're kind of merging at that point on Sunday, the 7th of December. All right, looking at the 5-mil height anomaly forecast now on the left for this Monday, next Monday, the 8th of December, 2025, showing continued, just a broken record here. Well above normal heights northwest of Alaska, that continues. We see below normal heights above normal heights, we see a closed upper level low right there on the southwestern coast of Alaska. Meanwhile, we still see this upper level high. It's not going anywhere, so conditions remain dry across California and warm, well above normal heights into Oregon as well. So this upper high here just remains in place. We do see troughing generally east of the Mississippi River, and that's going to be resulting in very cold air from New England, the main area, down through PA, Virginia, down to the Carolinas for Monday. We do see a closed upper level low just east, has pivoted now just east of Hudson Bay in Canada. Meanwhile, the negative NAO continues with above normal heights across Greenland into the Baffin Bay. So that continues as well. Over on the right-hand side, precipitation forecast for Monday, 8 December 2025, showing some scattered showers there across northwestern portions of Washington State up into more unsettled weather conditions ahead of a trough axis there across western coastal sections of Canada. We do see dry conditions continuing underneath the ridge across California and Nevada up to Idaho. Additionally, we see troughing continuing, scattered rain and snow showers there across parts of West Virginia into Kentucky and eastern Tennessee for next Monday afternoon, the 8th of December. And we see some precipitation offshore of the mid-Atlantic coastline. Looking good and dry across New England. Now let's look at the forecast temp anomalies on the left for this Sunday, the 7th of December, 2025. Greens and blues below normal temperatures. You can see that is mainly across south and eastern Canada, extending down into the upper Midwest, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan and Illinois. We see below normal temperatures running 4 to 5 degrees below normal on Sunday afternoon for Hampton Road cities, right on down the coastal sections of the Carolinas. And then we see above normal temperatures across the western portions of Canada and the western portions of the United States. Over on the right-hand side, forecast temp anomalies for next Monday, 8 December 2025, showing well above normal temperatures from the Dakotas, Nebraska, westward to Idaho, Montana, Washington State, Oregon, running well above normal by next Monday, as well as California and Nevada. We see below normal temperatures generally east of the Rocky Mountains from Iowa right on over to Virginia. The coldest anomalies from Virginia up towards Maine and the New England area for Monday. Now, here is my latest 7-day outlook across the Hampton Roads, Virginia cities. This for tomorrow, Wednesday, the 3rd of December, we're looking at mostly sunny skies for Hampton Roads. High pressure moving in, high of only 45 degrees. It's going to be a cold one, so grab that jacket. Temperatures dropping down to 30 degrees by Thursday morning. And then we see increasing afternoon, evening clouds on Thursday. Ahead of that next low pressure area with a high of 51 degrees, dropping to 34 by Friday morning. We do see some PM rain showers across Hampton Road cities. Right now, it looks like liquid precip for the Hampton Road cities with a high of 48. We'll adjust this accordingly. We'll keep an eye on the potential for maybe a few wet snowflakes in there as well. But we'll continue to analyze that as we get closer to Friday. Temperatures drop to 39 degrees by Saturday. Your weekend looks dry across Hampton Roads. General cold temperatures in the upper 40s. Overnight lows into the 30s. And then we see partly to mostly sunny skies to begin the early part of next week. Now, some of the modeling is showing some sort of system moving in for Monday with more precipitation. So we'll keep an eye on that. This Monday forecast next week may have to change here in the coming days. All right, that wraps up my video here this evening. I wanted to cut another video and kind of give you updates on things and where we're going with the forecast. We're still looking mighty cold over the next 10 days. Below average temperatures continue. Yeah, working on the teleconnections video right now. So again, hopefully cut that one here a little bit later this week. All right, that wraps it up. And until next time, take care and God bless everyone.